Flame students, this is Miss Cruz. Welcome back. I'm so excited today. For those of you that watch me make the chorizo lasagna casserole type of dish, today we're going to make some enchiladas. I'm going to be using corn tortillas, and I'm going to add some potatoes and some onions. We're going to be putting some garlic, cominos, which is cumin, and some red pepper flakes together, and some canola oil. I don't know if you know this, but the canola oil stores really well in the refrigerator, and it's supposedly supposed to help us so it doesn't be as rancid. So let's get busy. We're gonna do all this in this great big pot. Okay, so I just remembered that I have these embasa chilies. They're called chiles en escabeche, and I'm gonna go ahead and add those because I really love that flavor and I want to use these up. For the onions, I just cut them in half, and I'm just gonna slice them just super thin. So here they are all sliced up, and now I'm just going to add them to the oil. So let's see if we can get it to sizzle just a little. My hands are very clean, so no worries. Well, no, they're not sizzling too much. So I'm gonna raise the heat, and we'll see if they will sizzle in just a few minutes. Okay guys, as you can see, they're starting to sizzle. So I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the onions. I have quite a few over here in that pile, so we're just going to start to add them, and yes, they are definitely starting to sizzle. Get a fork, and I'm going to slice up this jalapeno. As it turns out, I said slice, but it really is more of like a dice. And so now I'm going to add this to those sizzling. See if we can get them to sizzle. Let me see if I can grab this other spatula and see if I can scoop up just a few so you can see. And I'm going to start adding them to the sizzling onions. Okay, so then to this, we're going to add some garlic. And I have the garlic it's already pre-cut. And I'm going to see if I can. Okay, so to this, we're going to add a nice scoop of the minced garlic. And I'm going to give it a stir. And so now to this, we're going to add some pepper flakes, which I guess I really didn't need. They're going to be hot enough for jalapeno, but that's what I'm used to putting. So, and some cumin, or cominos, as we call it. Okay. I have some whole cominos, but I'm really trying to use up the spices that I have because of the COVID, and I don't go shopping that much. So I'm going to go ahead and use the powdered ones up. Wish you guys could smell this. It's just so good. So now that I have those spices going, I'm going to add the potatoes. So you can see that I just cubed them up. Not too big, not too small, just right. And so now I'm going to add them. There you go. So I'm just going to get these potatoes going so that they will get soft, and then I kind of want them to brown just a little. And for those of you that have watched me cook before, you know I change what I'm doing when I'm cooking quite a bit, because I learned to cook from my godmother and my grandmother mostly, and they usually used what they had on hand. So if you make enchiladas with me another time, I might even add vegetables to it or something else, okay? So we usually try to just use up what we have. And again, this batch I'm making is going to be also to freeze. Because of the COVID, I'm really trying to use up all my the food that I have that I want it to go ahead and be cooked. In case the utilities go out for any reason, I want to be ready to just have ready-made meals. And I think I mentioned before, I also know how to can, so I could can some food that I have, but I want to use up what I have in my freezer right now. Last but not least, I need to add what we call consommé. So here we go. Now I mixed it. There was a consommé that had some tomato consommé, but it's basically chicken flavoring, and I just love it. We use that consommé instead of salt, okay? So there we go. I'm going to just mix all this together.
Making enchiladas can be dangerous because you use very hot oil to fry the tortilla. I learned how to make these when I was a child, and my grandmother used to set up like an assembly line, and the younger girls would roll and fill the enchiladas while the older women would do the frying. Looking ahead to colder days, I added shredded sirloin tip beef to make these meals heartier. I should have enough to make the enchiladas, an enchilada casserole, and some soft tacos. These family favorites will be topped with cheese and placed into the freezer. Depending on the casserole dish that you use, you'll start with the tortillas on the bottom, then you'll put that hearty meat and potato filling in the middle, cheese, and then you'll keep layering the tortillas, the filling, and the cheese, but you will end with the cheese on top.
Okay guys, so as it turned out, I had the leftover tortillas, so I went ahead and just made some soft tacos, and I'm gonna put these in the fridge overnight, and then in the morning I'll wrap them up, and then I'll put these in the freezer for snacks. Okay guys, so leftover are just a couple of scoops, so I'm gonna put them into these small, they're like about a half a cup, but it's just enough to make a couple of burritos, or maybe one burrito. So I'm gonna do that and freeze them. Okay, so we got two, just like I thought I would. And another thing I wanted to mention is in the tacos, like when we do serve them, we usually add avocado and a dollop of sour cream. So delicious.
Hope to see you next time when we'll be dry canning and pressure cooker canning. Y'all take care.